Herbert S. Sinclair of the Mount Holly estate at Reddington, do publish and declare this instrument my last will and testament, and hereby revoke all wills and codicils heretofore made by me. I give and bequeath to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, son of my dear niece, Mary Matthew, all of my right, title, and interest in and to the house and land which I own near Mount Holly. The above provision and bequest is contingent on my aforementioned grandnephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate. The location of the room has been kept a secret from all the staff and servants of the manor, but I am confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts within a timely manner. Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executors of my will, then this gift shall lapse. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 18th day of March, 1993. Herbert S. Sinclair.
Hello everyone, this is Key of W with Blueprints. I am so excited about this game. I got it when it came out and I've been playing it almost non-stop for a month. It's about a month since the time of this recording. And I just wanted to record it, but I didn't want to record a blind playthrough because a couple of reasons. One, I don't like doing that for this channel. I know that if I were to stream this blind, sure, there'd be two viewers in chat. One's me, one's your mom, that kind of sort of thing. I know everyone's doing that to capitalize on the views, but I'm not about that on this channel. I really don't care. I prefer more guided sort of videos. But with this game, I didn't want to do that either because it's not really possible. The game, as we'll see, kind of changes from round to round. So this is going to be a little mix of both. There's going to be some walkthrough elements for those who are looking for puzzle answers. Great. But it's also going to contain as much of the story and lore as possible and sort of a natural progression for people who want to see more of a Let's Play style. Going to float between those, so I'm going to have sort of two voices for this. There's going to be the version of Key of W that knows the game, has the meta knowledge, and is able to sort of guide the process and give information to people looking for a walkthrough. But at the same time, I'm going to also have this newbie Key of W version that is not aware of puzzle solutions ahead of time, even the ones that don't change from game to game. So we'll do a little of that. I don't want to get too much more into that, except to start playing the game. So we are a little boy, Simon P. Jones, and this is the manor that we are set to inherit, provided we find the 46th room. And the game's going to explain a little bit more in just a second here. So we have a letter. It says, open only in the event of my death. It says, Simon, welcome to Mount Holly. You may not remember, but I have fond memories of your many visits here as a young boy, and I hope these rooms provide you with as much amusement as it did in those lost summer days. By the time you read this, I will assume you are fully aware of my last wishes and all the details of the bequest. Please do not mistake my intentions in giving you this challenge as a lack of confidence. I assure you, nothing could have been further from my mind when I chose you as my heir. With that said, there are a few ground rules of this commission covered in the fine print of my will that I feel I should bring to your attention. No tools or items may be brought onto the estate from the outside. Tools and items found on the estate may not be taken off the estate. You may not stay overnight. I don't suspect that any of these stipulations should prove an impediment for someone as resourceful as yourself, but it is very important to me that you start fresh each morning and not rely on the successes of the previous day. One final word of advice: do not assume the rooms you find today will be the same rooms you find tomorrow. These grounds have provided me a home for the last half-century, and even I am uncertain of which room lies beyond any particular door. Your grandmother used to say, "Don't go where the path leads, abandon the path and go where you want it to lead." With all my love and wishes, best of luck, Herbert S. Sinclair. So we're told we can inherit this mansion if we find room 46, but there's some rules. We can't bring items with us, so we have to come empty-handed, and if we find something, we can't take it off the estate. That's not 100% true. Like this, we don't have to find this every day. We just have this item once we get it. The Mount Holly blueprint, so it's the map. But otherwise, like if I find a key, I don't take that key with me. I have to find it again when I come back to the mansion. And I can't stay overnight, so I have to do this one day at a time. I do what I can here, finish the day, I leave, I come back and start over. So we can press tab to access this, and here's the map of the mansion so far. We have sort of 5 columns and 9 rows. We always start here in the entrance hall, and then our goal is not to get to the antechamber here, although we do see that room. Our goal is to find room 46, but this is probably an important room, and that's all we know. This is the button to end the day. We don't really want to do this. Even though we were told we had to find the room in a timely manner, there is actually no time limit to the game. We can go as long as we like. My first playthrough took me 22 days to find room 46. My second playthrough took me 20 days. I may or may not go faster. It may take 15 days here. It may take 40. We will see how this goes. Over here, more explanation. Searching the estate can be exhausting. Each time you enter a room, you will lose 1 step. So I have those in the top left. I start with 50. When you no longer have any steps left, you will be too tired to continue searching the manor and must call it a day. So there's a sort of limit on how far I can go. So it's a resource I have to manage. So some other stuff in this room. It's very important that you pay attention to what's in every room very carefully. There's probably stuff I still don't even know about, but there's lots of detail here. We have some furniture out here. We can't interact with any of this. In fact, there's a lot we can't interact with here. We have some vases on these tables, some benches. We have some busts of people. We're not sure who they are, but perhaps they are important. I also see some drawings on the wall. There's a drawing of someone holding up a card with their left hand. It's the Queen of Diamonds. There's also a drawing of someone holding up a card with their... Would that be right hand? Yeah, right hand. With the Ace of Spades. It's an interesting choice for these rooms. Anyway, we have 3 doors available to us, and the main mechanic of this game, we'll see in a second. I'm going to click on a door, and then I bring up the drafting menu. So I'm going to choose one of these 3 rooms, and whichever one I choose, that will be the room I enter. So the room is essentially created when I click on these. So I want to create rooms that get me as far into the mansion as possible. That's the basic strategy here. I cannot select, or I cannot make it so that the rooms I want appear in the draft necessarily. I just have to select from what the game gives me. So this one's called a bedroom. If I enter this room, I gain 2 steps. That could be useful if steps are an issue. A closet is very much a dead end, but it has 2 items in it. And then we have this hallway. It doesn't seem to have anything special, but it does have 3 exits. I'm going to start by taking this. So a good drafting strategy is to make sure you give yourself as many possible exits, as many possible paths. If I picked the closet and got the items, that's great, but I'm closing off a part of the mansion, making it a lot harder to get to this lower left side. So a hallway is a pretty good start. I mean, the closet wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I still have 2 other options that could open up very, very far, but I don't feel like doing that. I will say I do not think I am the best player at this game. I'm probably not the smartest drafter, but I will do my best to not be terrible. Let's see, we got some more pictures on the wall. We've got somebody clasping their hands in prayer. They got a rosary there. This one, someone's holding up a crowbar. And then we have a note on the table. It says doors in the west wing are more likely to be locked. And if that's true, we don't really want to hang out here too much because we can't get through locked doors right now. But we'll continue. If I run into a locked door, there really isn't an issue. I have this whole east wing to explore. So now we can draft some more. So this is the lavatory. It is a dead end. You can see there's no exit except the one we come in from. This over here, the guest bedroom, is also a dead end, but it gives us 10 extra steps, so we at least get something for our trouble. I don't want to make dead ends right now. I want to push my way through the manor as best I can and make as many options for myself, because I think my goal is to get here. I don't know yet. This is very obviously something important. I am going to try to get here. I don't know if room 46 is here, but I will try to get here. I am not convinced I will pull it off on one day. That's pretty hard to do, but I will see how good I can do. So we're in the pantry. I didn't really talk much about it. It's just an elbow joint. There's always these 4 coins here. We have a note that says, Bridget, please pick up some more fruit before Friday, as we have just been informed that we may have an extra guest exploring the house next week. 50 steps should be more than enough, so I think an even spread would be ideal. 5 apples, 5 bananas, 5 oranges. The enclosed amount should cover expenses, but please bring back any change from the order and leave it in the pantry. So I guess the 4 coins we get is the change left over. And this, I actually don't 100% know. I haven't exactly gone and looked up every single thing about the game. I don't know if this means that every day there's going to be these 15 fruits in the mansion somewhere. This room will always have one of those 3. But if you add up the steps that these give, we'll see eventually what they do. This equals 50 steps. A banana should give you 3, is that right? So yeah, food generally gives you steps. Let's continue. So we have a few more rooms we can do. This is a storeroom. It's a dead end, but it gives us some items. A spare room just seems to be a connecting point, and then there's a parlor. And this puzzle piece signifies that this is a puzzle room. There's a puzzle in here that we can do, and I actually want to do this. So we're going to do this parlor. So we've got some nice scenery here, some tables, a little couch, a portrait of Herbert Sinclair, some more of these sketched pictures. There's a plane, and there's some kind of graph paper thing. And we have some letters over here. This one says, oh, it was written May the 2nd. I don't know if that's important. Dear Herbert, it was a great honor receiving the invitation to dine at your estate with the Oldhams this past Thursday. If I'm being frank, it had been quite a while since we had been seen in decent society, and we were beginning to worry that my wife's wit had lost its charm. I have no delusions that my company is rival to hers. What? Okay, whatever. If I can refresh your memory, we both spent much of that evening discussing our mutual love of games and puzzles, and I had mentioned to you a rather singular parlor game I had played some years back, involving 3 boxes of different colors. You had pressed me to write with the particulars of this game when I found the time, and I have included with this letter all the details you will need to share with guests should you be inclined to play this confounding game. Always your friend, M. Lowry. There will always be at least 1 box which displays only true statements. There will always be at least 1 box which displays only false statements. Only 1 box has a prize within, the other 2 are always empty. So yeah, there's the boxes. So the game here is that we get to open only 1 of them, and if we don't find the items inside, then too bad for us. So yeah, it's a good room to draft because every day is a new puzzle, so we get a prize every single day. All 3 boxes are empty. Well, this is not true. Let's look at the rules again. Only 1 box has a prize within, the other 2 are always empty. Therefore, this box has a false statement. This box and the blue box are empty. That is possibly true. The black box contains gems. This is false. So let's work on these 2. So the rule over here said that there will always be at least 1 box which displays only true statements, and at least 1 box which displays only false statements. This box is only false. Therefore, 1 of these, or both, is true, but at least 1. And if we assume that this is true, this box and the blue box are empty, the white box would have gems in it. This would be false, the black box contains gems, and this would be false, that's fine. If we assume that this one is true, the black box contains gems, then this box and the blue box are empty is also true. Actually, it looks like both of these would be true. Can they both be false? This box and the blue box are empty. If this is false, this box and the blue box are empty. That's fine. Maybe I am overthinking it immediately with puzzle number 1. Because there's a part of me going, what if the logic is this could be false and one of these two could be empty? So is it saying that in order for this statement to be true, there has to be something in both boxes? I might be like looking way too many steps ahead, because if that's not what it means, if it just means that both of these boxes have to be empty, then if this is false, they both would have gems, and that's an impossible statement, right? It's a very obvious thing. But if it's possible, like if this had gems and this did not have gems, this would still be a false statement. See what I'm going for? So what I'm going to do instead of trying to like overdo the logic is assume that there has to be one solution that's logically workable. And so I think that both of these statements are true. Because this is false, they both can't be false. And if this were false, we'd have 2 sets of gems. I think that's what they're going for. So I'm going to assume, and if I'm wrong, then I know that this is way harder than I thought it was going to be. Okay, good. That is in fact what we were going for. Because I have played the game and gotten much further into it, I know there are some crazy hard puzzles, so I was beginning to overthink immediately. Every day this gets harder, or rather every time you solve the puzzle, it gets harder. They aren't all going to take me that long to work out. That was just a very special case where I was worried about the wording on that one. But yeah, the answer to that gave us 2 gems. We will see what those are for soon, but every time it is 2 gems. So we see our bedroom again, we see our closet again. So if I were to make this closet, for example, look in the lower left corner. We can see how we're building our mansion there. It tells us how it's going. Now, what it's going to do is the hallway has a door coming up here. If we do this, it blocks the door. And it blocks everything else. So not only do I make a dead end, but this becomes only one door. So either I do this, which, again, blocks all progress, this, which blocks all progress, or this, which may block progress here, but it allows me to continue this direction. However, if I draft this, it'll take me right above the entrance hall, which is a space I can get to anyway. I don't need any help getting there. So no matter what I do, I'm kind of blocking myself off. I personally think this is my best choice. I know that no matter what I do, it ends up being poor drafting. It's not what I want. I want something that turns up. That's what I want. Or I want something that turns up and goes out like another hallway type thing. I don't care about this connection because I have the connection around this side. So I'm going to take the closet because at the very least I can find something useful. So there's a lot in here, but we can't interact with much. Here's another gem. Picture of a staircase. This is an item, the running shoes. Occasionally save steps when traveling longer distances across the state and grounds. I do not know exactly what it means longer distances. I have found sometimes when you're going from room to room, the running shoes will trigger and you won't lose a step. But when you are, not to spoil things, but when you are in larger spaces that may or may not be in these rooms in the house, the running shoes tends to trigger more often. So it probably won't happen right here. We're watching our step counter go down. But at some point it will not. And so now that we have blocked this door, it becomes boarded up. We can't do anything there. So now we're down to these 2. So if we have similar luck, we're going to end up trapped back here. We're not going to get very far toward our goal, but that is okay. So there's a dead end again. We don't want dead ends right now. This basically just extends our progress. It says corridor is always left unlocked, which means none of these doors can be locked, which is nice. But this doesn't do much for us right now because it just sort of pushes us to the corner. This is a great room because not only does it, keep us moving, it gives us 2 extra exits. So it's a good one to pick. I'm going to take the den, and it has a gem inside of it. Let's do that. Let's see what else we got. We got a lot of clocks in here. So the clocks are going to tell you the current time, and they're always accurate. So we start every day at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's now getting close to 10:30. I don't know what that symbol means. Got some more pictures. We've got a lot of drawings here. We got a tree. We've got a safety pin over there. Anyway, lots of clocks. We got a chess piece there. Let's see. Let's go to this corner. So corners are going to be very restrictive rooms. So in this case, the only kinds of rooms we can draw are rooms with an elbow joint like the pantry, or dead ends. And a dead end isn't bad to put here because we already don't have a lot of movement space. So if I do get a dead end, I might just put it here because the way that drafting works in this game is once you've drafted a room, it's gone. You only get one of them, essentially. And so, for instance, I'm not going to see another den. I'm not going to see another closet. So if I do put a dead end here, I won't see it later. So let's do this. Although this is a very good room, even though it's not a dead end. I don't need a dead end. It's just if I found a dead end, a piece I don't like, I can put it here. All of these are good choices, I think. So this is the nook. It gives you a key. I don't have any keys right now. I would really like to have a key. This gives me a key, a gem, and a coin. So while it doesn't have the exit, I'm doing all right on exits right now. I don't know if I need 3 all facing up right next to each other because there's no way all 3 of those are going anywhere. So this is pretty tempting. This, I'm not too worried about steps right now. So I think I'm going to take the storeroom. It might not be the right pick here, but I think I'm going to take the storeroom. Oh, here we go. We got a key. I'm looking down to see items. I wonder if they hide anything up in the air. Got some pictures here. We got some chairs, some other stuff. Really not much in there, just the items we find. So I think... So with the entrance hall, we're somewhat limited. We want it to go up and then up again. If it goes up and to the right, it's going to cross over with what the den has. So I think... I wonder what is the one that's most likely to get me up into the 3rd row here. I think I'm going to pick this door and see what I get. Oh, this is really good. So we have the corridor, which is always left unlocked, which is nice. I can take that. That'll get me where I need to go. Although the corridor would be better right here. Lavatory, don't want a dead end now. Passageway has 4 exits. This is great. It costs you 2 gems, but I have 5. I am doing great on gems. So I'm going to use that. Alright. I'm going to start by going out toward the sides, because if I get a dead end here, that's fine. I don't want a dead end here or there, so I'm going to start here, and if I draft a dead end, that's where I use it. Chapel. Whenever you enter the chapel, lose 1 coin. I don't really want to do that. Also, even though it has 3 exits, one of them's pointed down. It's wasted. Here's a dead end that keeps showing up. I don't want the lavatory, but if I choose the lavatory, it won't show up ever again. So maybe I pick this one just to get it out of my hand. That's a possibility. We also have the patio, which says it spreads gems in each green room. It requires me a gem to get it, but there will be a gem inside the room when I open it, so I will get that gem back. What spread means is a little complicated, hard to understand on your first playthrough. It means that every existing green room will get a gem in it. That's what the spread means. Spread will only go to rooms which currently exist. I currently have no green rooms. If I pick this room, I will get 1 gem, and that is it. So I'll get my gem back. I think on this time, it's a bit of a risk because I do close myself off a bit. I'm going to take the lavatory. Let's go inside, but I don't think there's anything in here. I think it's just a dead end. I'm okay wasting the step just to show you the room a little bit. Oh, there's pictures in there again, but we're doing okay on steps. And I'm starting to worry a little bit, because going to the left here, we are forced to find a room that takes us up. It does not need to take us both up and down, because even if this entrance hall north gets blocked, we still have the access through here. This north one is very free, so I think I'm going to take the north exit first and see what it gives me. courtyard. Oh, this is good. This has 2 extra exits. They are both pointing away. They're not pointing west, which is good, because then I can make another pathway out here. Spare room is fine, but I think I want more exits. I just want to see more rooms. So I'm going to take this courtyard. So this is a green room. So if I get a patio after this, then choosing the patio would give me 2 gems total. I would just be required to backtrack. I'm going to take this courtyard. So here we go. Looking around. We have an open air. We have trees. We have rocks. There's these big conspicuous patches of dirt. Otherwise, that is all. Once again, I'm going to start by going out to the edge, because if I get a dead end, this is where I want to put it. But if it's an elbow joint piece, that is also fine. So this is not a dead end, but because it's turning to the right, it will be a dead end, essentially. So do I want a key, but it goes to a dead end? Do I want just definitely a dead end, but I get 10 extra steps? Or do I want this? It'll give me access north, but I will lose money every time I enter. I think I want the guest bedroom now. It's been showing up a lot. It's getting in my way. It's a dead end that I can't use. But it'll get it out of my draft pool. So let's enter. It gives us 10 steps once we enter for the first time. There's not much we can do. There is a letter here we can read. It says, Sinclair, just wanted to write you a quick note thanking you for the weekend. I had a thrilling time on the hunt with Lord Evanson, whose peculiar personality somewhat made up for your own absence. I also got to appreciate your new game in the billiard room. It's been ages since I've seen the billiard room in the house. I was beginning to suspect you retired the floor plan. It was well worth the wait, though, as I always enjoy your mathematical puzzles, and appreciated that I didn't need to know the rules of darts to play your variation. Let's keep this in mind. We haven't seen a billiard room, but if we do, we now know that there's a game in the billiard room that we can play. And we don't need to know the rules of darts to play the game, so that must mean the game involves darts in some way, or a dart board, because otherwise why mention the rules of darts? And finally, mathematical puzzle. So the puzzle is going to involve math. Hoping your health improves shortly, somebody we don't know. So there's that. There's something here. An electronic keycard opens electronically powered security doors. This is a great item that we have not seen how we need it yet, but once we do, you will see how special this item is. Let's continue. Okay, now look at this again. Now it's okay if I move left. I didn't want to move left here, for instance, because I would block off this path. This is okay to put a left path here. It's probably better to put a corridor. Kitchen is also okay, but it moves to the right. It forces me to draft something here, and if this doesn't move up, I'm boned. I can't go anywhere there. It also costs a gem. Food for sale means I can buy stuff to replenish my steps, but I'm doing okay on steps, and I don't have a lot of money. I'm going to pick the corridor. I'm going to continue up this way. Oop. Up in the top left, if you saw that shoe, that meant that I saved a step here. There's a picture of some fire. Okay, now bedroom is probably the best choice here. Whenever you enter this room, gain 2 steps. Chapel, whenever you enter the chapel, lose a coin. We know that much. This one gives me a lot of options, though, so there is the temptation of just having a lot of places to go at the cost of losing money. We haven't yet run into a situation where I need the money, so it's not that bad to lose it. The nursery, whenever you draft a bedroom, gain 5 steps. This is sort of looking forward. If I draft this room, then if I were to draft a bedroom, I would gain 5 steps from doing so. Helpful if I want to get a lot of steps, but I'm still doing great on steps. Like, I started with 50, and after all of this, I'm at 47. And it's a dead end. So let's say no to the nursery. Chapel or bedroom? Chapel gives me more places to go. I'm going to actually take the chapel. That's what we're going to do. I'm okay losing the money. So we got some pews. We got some wonderful stained glass pictures. There's just a bunch of candles everywhere. I'm going to keep moving north, see what happens. Well, there's a kitchen again. It's moving to the left, moving west. There's this whole area on the east that I'm not touching anymore, which I guess is fine. Like, I don't yet know what my goal is. But if I get rooms out here, they make great places for dead ends, because I already know that there's nothing happening over here, so I can use dead ends there. This is a dead end I don't particularly want to use, because it will force me to move west and north, and I already have a path that I want to use going west and north. And this one is also west and north. So, yeah, it will force me to do that one. So, probably not this. I'm going to take the spare room. I'm just going to see what happens. Uh-huh. Doesn't look like there's anything in here, so it's just that was a free room. Ah, this door is locked. So do I want to use my one and only key? So let's say I use the key and I get something I don't really like all that much, and then it's a dead end. Well, now I gotta go back, and if I need a key on any of these other doors, that's it. It's game over. I think I want to go back and find another route and make sure I have an option. Ah, so because this one is locked, I need to choose carefully between this door and that one. I'm actually going to go back to the beginning. I have a lot of steps. I'm going to go back. I still don't know 100% exactly what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I'm trying to get to the antechamber, but I don't know how yet. So I'm going to try... I need something that goes north. It doesn't matter which one of these two it comes through. So the question is, am I more likely to get a bend going north? I think so. That's my guess, is I'll get a bend. And it looks like I did. Yeah, this is exactly what I would want right here. So here's a boudoir, which is doesn't look like it has anything in it, but it might. It just doesn't say it has any special abilities, and it bends the wrong way. This is just a straight up dead end. We don't want it. It counts as 2 bedrooms. We don't know what that means yet. This room, the drawing room, you may draw new floor plans while drafting in this room. So, we're going to take that. It costs a gem, but that's fine. We have lots of pictures here. Anything else? Drawing floor plans. Each time you click on a door, you will draw 3 floor plans, from which you must select one to draft. However, there are some items and rooms that will allow you to redraw if you do not like your initial 3 options. Great. We got some more pictures over there. These pictures don't seem to match the ones on the wall, which all seem to be the same over and over. And that's different. We have a picture of Mr. Sinclair himself. That's great. That goes back to the entrance hall. So we get to do a redraw when we go here. So that'll show up right here. If we don't like any of these rooms, we just press this button and we redraw. And in fact, I don't really like any of these. This is a dead end. This doesn't end the run immediately. We have 1 key to use, but it's risky. This takes us where we want to go. Less likely to find items laying around in the house. I don't know if I like that. What if we want items? What if we want keys, gems, and coins? This is another risky one. This is also risky. The gymnasium, whenever you enter, you lose 2 steps. We have a lot of steps, but we won't if we use this. It also has a lot of exits, one of which is blocked off if we use this. So I'm going to take a chance on the redraw. And we got rather unlucky with this, but not as unlucky as the first draw. The nook goes the wrong way, the boudoir goes the wrong way. The dining room has an exit that's blocked off, but we like this room. It says that a meal is served in the dining room after rank 8 has been reached. So let's take this one. Rank 8, it refers to the row. So this is rank 1, this is rank 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have to get up to here, and then this room will have something in it. We may or may not reach rank 8 today. It's not the hardest thing in the world to get to rank 8, but on your first day, it doesn't always happen. So I don't think there's anything we can do in here right now. It's just some nice scenery. Alright, here we want something good. The nook goes the wrong way, the boudoir goes the right way. Secret passage leads to a room of a color of your choice. So the colors of the rooms actually is pretty important, but I've kind of glossed over it on day 1 because we just need to see a lot of things before it will make sense. I don't think I want this. A couple reasons. First, it will take up my last gem. I will spend my final gem to get it. Second, I happen to know ahead of time that it will lead to a room that is straight ahead of the initial thing. That's where the passage is drawn here on this picture. So it's straight away. which means it's going to take me to this corner, and I am forced to find an elbow bend to the right, or it's a dead end. This is already an elbow bend to the right. This opens up the passageway a lot more. So let's do this. Ooh, I can see a safe. That's interesting. Let's go around there. I would like to inform you that on my first playthrough, the one which I, finished the game after 22 days, never knew this was here. Never found it. Just never looked for it. But we don't know how to get into it, so whatever. But this is here. Let's keep this in mind, because if we ever find the code for this, we can break into the safe. Doesn't look like there's anything in here. See a picture? Looks like this room on Christmas Day. And there's the safe. Huh. Alright. Locksmith, keys for sale. That's tempting, but it's really bad in this run for a couple of reasons. Reason number one, it uses up my last gem. Reason number two, I don't have a lot of money, so I probably can't buy anything. And reason number three, it's a dead end. I don't want that. Both of these options take me to the left, but this one costs more gems than I have, so we're going to go to the bedroom. Finally, I've been ignoring this room or avoiding it, and now the game is just going to make me take it. I don't see any items. I always want to just double check, because the items in the game are randomized. They're not the same every time you enter the room, or every time you draft a room, so you just want to double check, make sure you don't miss anything. We got greetings from Reddington. Great, that's wonderful. Keep seeing that chess piece there. Okay. If this does not bend to the right, we're stuck. It's also locked. Ooh, now we have a conundrum. If I use my key here, I could end up completely boned. I would not only use my last key, I would require drafting a room that goes north. Whereas here, if I use a key, I can take a room that goes west or north. And here, if I use a key, I can take a room that goes any direction. So I think I'm going to go all the way back to the spare room. Yes, it means I have essentially wasted my steps getting here. They're not really wasted, it's just I used a lot of steps. If I had just gone to the spare room from, the first moment, then we would be in the same conundrum we are now. But a good strategy is you want to see as many things as possible. Like, you don't want to just rush straight forward in one path. You want to open up as much as you can. Now, this could end our game here. So these are both dead ends. This is a dead end. It's got a breaker box. Not sure what this is going to be used for, but it is a dead end, so it would end our day. This is a dead end. It ends our day, right? Like, a day is over when we can't progress any further. There is a chance there's a key in here, in which case it's a dead end, but then we use keys elsewhere. And if there were two keys in there, we would actually come out on top, but we would lose our only gem. This gives us a key, and it continues us to the right. So I think this is the play. And there's our key right in here. So we've got this little nook. Chess piece again. There's just a lot of chess pieces here. Rook in the nook. Pictures. Little notice here. A journey noteworthy. As you continue on your adventure, you may want to consider getting something to scribble down your notes and observations. A pad, a scrap of paper, or perhaps most fittingly, a journal will prove to be an invaluable tool you will not regret having beside you on your journey. I am doing exactly that on my computer. I have a folder with screenshots of everything I've thought is noteworthy, as well as a document to keep notes on certain rooms. Okay, so this is locked. I wish this was not locked, but it is locked. So now the question is, do we use a key here, here, or here? All of them have downsides, but the chapel is the most open. This nook, if we use a key and the room doesn't go up, we're not immediately screwed. We could find a room going down that gives us another key, but we're kind of hoping for a miracle. If we go this way, same thing. If we move down, we need to get a miracle to get another key. Otherwise, our best shot is the chapel again, so we have spent so much money in this chapel. But that's okay. We didn't even find something to use the money on, so, I'm okay losing it. So I'm going to use my key here and hope that we can progress further. This is going to end our day. Because even though this looks great, it's going to move us south into this dead end. So unless we find a key in there, it's over. This is going to help us progress. And we saw a note about the billiard room. So let's do this. So we got billiards, definitely. We got tiger and whatever that is. Hey, darts. So this is probably what we saw about the game. Now, because it doesn't require the rules of darts, we know we're not playing darts, and it said mathematics. So we're going to just try to figure this one out. There are other hints throughout the mansion, by the way, that tell you how to play this game, but on my first playthrough, when I got the demo, way back when, I figured this one out just by trying things. It's not the hardest game to figure out. So we see that this, the 6, is highlighted, so I'm just going to take that. And now I see both the 12 and the 8 are highlighted. So what's that mean? I press the 12? No, I do not. Okay, let's press the 6 again. What if we press the 8? Nope, start over. Press the 6. What if it has to be between the 12 and the 8? Geographically, this 14. No. Turns out you can make as many mistakes as you like. This game will never end. Between 8 and 12 mathematically. After all, the letter did say it was a math game. No. Well, what if we decide to add these two numbers together? 8 and 12 make 20. And that's it. So we want to add 19 and 14. But this is a different color, and it's in a different circle on the wheel. So the blue is in the central area here. Well, not the central, but the innermost ring. And then the next ring out is yellow. So the guess is, why not subtraction? So 19 minus 14 is 5. There you go. And in fact, any equation you make has to have an answer 20 or below because, well, that 20 is the highest number. 13 minus 11 is 2. 2, okay, this is pink, so it's not addition, it's not subtraction. Let's try multiplication. 2 times 10 is 20. 9 minus 7 is 2. And oh, I must have just completely misread that one. All right, I probably said numbers and it was not those numbers. 13 minus 11 is 2. 2 times 10, so you see it's the same one every time too. Okay, 9 minus 7 is 2, and the pink is still there, times 10 is 20. There you go. So yeah, this puzzle, if you don't know how it works, can be tricky, but if you do know how it works, you can essentially brute force it till you get it if you feel like doing that. So that gives us 2 keys, which is perfect, because now we have a way forward everywhere. I'm going to continue on this path, because I've gotten it started now. And let's see here. We've got some options. And I'm going to actually look. Someone's trying to reach me. Nope. I was hoping that was not work because I would be in so much trouble. So here's another dead end. This isn't the end of the world because we do have 2 ways we can go forward. They do require us to point north. But I don't want to do this. I don't want to make this dead end. I don't even know what I'd be doing this for. Great Hall has 7 locked doors. It does take us, in all 4 directions, but I only have 2 keys, so that's risky. I think I'll take the conference room because it gives us two more exits in the directions that we want. This room has an interesting thing that I so far have never ever used. So it's whenever items would be spread throughout the house, they're placed in this room instead. So the patio we saw earlier that spreads gems, if I had a ton of green rooms and then I made a patio, instead of every green room getting a gem, they would all appear in the conference room. So it can be nice if you're doing a spreading strategy, but I so rarely do. We got a note here we can look at. Safe code 9083. Let's keep that one in mind. 9083. We have seen a safe. I'm not going to run back and get it now because it's quite a big trip. And if that is not the code for the same safe I'm thinking of, then it was a big waste of steps. Spreading items. Oh, hey, this is the thing I was talking about. Some special rooms allow you to spread items throughout your house. When items are spread, they are immediately placed in several of the rooms currently on your state. However, if you have a conference room, spread items are gathered in that room instead. So it's great. I like that. Let's see here. Dark room. Cannot see floor plans while drafting in this room. This is pretty dangerous because instead of seeing these 3, I would just see 3 black squares, and so it's a guess whether it's a useful room. Bunk room's a dead end. I don't want that. I think the observatory is the obvious play here, although I do spend my last gem. That's a risk, because the thing is, if I'm out of gems and things show up that cost gems, I'm forced into taking rooms I may or may not want. But I'm going to take the observatory. We're going to see how it goes. Some more stuff. You can spin the globe. I don't know if that has a use yet. Hey, look, there's another chess piece. The Fixed Stars, The Stargazer's Companion to Constellations by Richard Witt. This book contains a complete starbase, a list of constellations, and the observed effects that accompany the appearance of each one. Depending on the number of stars that can be seen in the sky on any given day, different constellations of various sizes may be visible, sometimes more than one on a single day. This book, a solid base for astronomy, will help you easily identify these constellations, impress your friends, and discover the joy of stargazing. So 1 star is the North Star, gives 1 gold. 2 is the Twins. We add 2 trunks to the entrance hall. We'll see what trunks are soon. The Slice is 3 steps. Diamonds Minor is 1 gem. Southern Cross, rooms with 4 doors are more common. 7s, we skip over 6, I guess. 7's the Farmer's Apple. Apples are extra delicious today. 8 is Clavis the Key, which gives us a key. 11's Diamondus Major, gives us 5 gems. 12, Adraxis the Dead, gives us more dead-end rooms, which we may or may not want. 15 is the Sale. Everything's 50% off, 50% off. 20 is Florealis, Bloom of the Sky. Green rooms are more likely to contain special flowers today. And that's it. Well, we have 1 star, so we should get 1 gold. But the way to do that is we need to look through the telescope. We can't do that here. We're going to want the telescope to face out that way. This will move the telescope in this direction, but the trouble is there's this piece in the way. We would have to move the telescope up and around. So let's head up here, and we'll find a wheel that we can use to rotate this. Okay, I don't want that to go down. It's also blocking my way out now. I'm stuck. So I want that to go back up. And now that it's going up, we're going to move it to the right again. And now it's looking out the door. That's what we want. A very, very simple puzzle. Gain 1 gold. That is not useful to us at all. We could have skipped that. But every time we draft this, we gain another star. So if we were to draft this every day, eventually we're going to get some really nice prizes. But for now, we don't get much. Okay. So it's another choice of what keys to use where. I'm actually going to head back. I'm still pretty good on steps. I'm going to see if this door is locked. It is not. Security. Oh, I can't. I'm out of gems. I am now forced to take this dead end. So you see why you don't really want to use up all your gems. Utility closet is forced. Let's see what we have. Keycard entry system. I haven't seen any of that, but I can turn it off. Actually, because I have the item... Yeah, I have a keycard. I don't need to worry about the keycard entry system. I can get in. VAC indicators. So there's some lights here. But we don't know what they do. We can make them green or red, and that's about it. Gymnasium. We don't have one of those. Dark room. Garage. So we can flip these if we want. But they don't seem to do anything for us, so we're going to just leave that the way it is. Yeah, so this room's kind of a waste. Got more pictures there. This game really wants us to see these pictures. Yep, so the best option we have is this observatory, because we have 2 ways forward, north and west. This is okay. It would require a north move. This would require a north move, and then several more north moves to get us anywhere. So we're going to use one of our keys, but we have another one after this, so that's alright. Okay, Great Hall's come up again. Well, we're kind of forced into using it, because this is a dead end and we don't have any more gems. So we're going to take the Great Hall and see what happens. Now, there are 7 locked doors. All of these doors are locked. The only door that takes us out of the room immediately, because these are not the doors out of the room. These are just doors in the middle of the room. This is our only way forward. So we're going to take this. And at this point, it sticks of one, half dozen of the other, which door I choose to unlock. I just need something pointing north, and I did not get it. So today, we're going to end our run on rank 7. We got really close on day 1. That's pretty good. Can I? No, those are locked. I need keys. Getting gems is good. I could spread gems. I would only get 2 gems for spreading, because there's a courtyard and the patio once I do this. Oh, no, I don't have any gems to do it, no. So the wine cellar is required. And there's 3 gems here. If I had gems, I would have been okay. I would have been able to solve my problems earlier, but I did not. And we have this crest here. We have some Roman numerals. If you know Roman numerals, you know that says 1213 or 1213. The M is 1000. This is 100, 100, 10, 111, 1213. Other than that, I don't think there's anything in this room, so we can explore and check other rooms out, but that's it. So you might think, wait a second, we just started the game. We spent basically 45 minutes on this one day running around, but we didn't get anywhere. We didn't get to the antechamber. We didn't get to room 46. And when we start the next day, it starts all over. What's the point? Well, with this type of puzzle game, it's all about information. We learned a lot of stuff this day. We learned what all these rooms are. We know now if we draft a parlor, we're going to get gems. We have to draft a billiard room, we can play the game and win. Maybe there's keys there. We know what this does, so maybe if we find the rooms, the garage, gymnasium, or dark room, we can do something. We know we get more stars, we'll get more bonuses. So like the more we play, the more we know, the further we can get. So it's okay that we didn't succeed today. In fact, it's possible to succeed on day 1, but it's unbelievably difficult. So we're going to call it a day here and see our stats screen. I think that's a really good day 1, actually. And it's not just luck. If you have good drafting skill, you can make it about as far as I did on day 1 without any trouble at all. Ordinary villa, rooms 26, rank reached 7, steps taken 45, items found 2, so we get all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll stop there. That's a really long day, so thanks to both of my fans for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. If you can't tell why this game is super awesome just from this video, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best, but I will try again in the next time. See you around. Thank you so much. Bye.